In today's episode, I have a customer with a second gen Prius, and I've never torn apart a Prius hybrid battery before, but they're actually a medical student and are trying to do it as cheap as possible. And they were straight up just like, hey, I don't care if you experiment on my car if it ends up being cheaper. So I'm gonna go ahead and tear this battery apart. It shouldn't really be too crazy of an experience, but hopefully nothing goes wrong. We'll see how it goes. Here's what we're looking at. It's kind of easy to get to, honestly. And first thing you can do, go ahead and remove the battery plug here. So just on this little side piece right here, there's one last little bolt all the way down there that holds it in. If you can see the threads just down past my fingers. So I'm gonna leave that one in so I don't have to worry about it. I should be able to get this. All right, it's so easy to take that cushion out. I just went ahead and did that, just 2 bolts. If not, you could, if you really wanted to, squeeze a wrench down here and get those out, but it's also 2 bolts. So in my opinion, it's not worth the hassle. I'm gonna use my Boltzers to organize this. They've actually come out with a new one. So this video is sponsored by Boltzer, that being said. And they actually, the super cool thing about these Boltzer mats are they actually offer a lifetime warranty. They just made these blue colors a little more vibrant. They actually recommend customizing your products so that it fits your style of work best. You can cut these out to fit like longer wrenches and stuff, they said. I actually cut mine out so that it fits my Boltzer smaller mat here, just on the top, and it doubles same size here. So kind of like an expansion pack for that. Set like a wrench or whatever there, big bolts, small bolts. Okay, so I'm gonna take this just vent off here. These batteries vent to the outside. Here's the blower motor. The fan actually pulls air from up there and blows it through there and out this other tube. So that's the intake. We're gonna take that off specifically. I guess we're gonna have to take this out, exhaust out, because we're gonna have to take the whole battery out anyway, so it's not a big deal. I don't think you can actually even replace any of these cells while the battery's still in the vehicle. I'm not going to poke my fingers around under there, but I know there's bolts and stuff on the bottom, so I think it has to come out regardless. To do so, then all I need to do is remove the big main mounting bolts here and this support bracket there, and then I can take it out and take the rest of the cover off with my wrench out here. But it's basically after that just a few 10mm bolts. Let's go ahead and do it. All right, so I've just gotten everything taken off and organized here, and this is probably about ready to come out. Let me just double check. Yep. Well, it's definitely hot outside already. It's what, 9 o'clock, probably 9:30, 10 almost. I'm gonna get the cover taken off and then we'll test the cells. I'm gonna have to take, I'll show you. It's a little complicated, but it's fun. 10mm, hold this cover on. Nope, that's 9mm. here's that battery. These are the vents for it, so we've got to take these off. There's these bolts holding this rail on, and this end cap here, it's a plastic cap. There's bolts underneath each cell here. These cells have been drawn on with a Sharpie, so that's a little weird. I wonder if this is a refurbished cell that's been balanced or anything. Cell block number 9. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One of these two most likely are under 7 volts. 7.2, I believe, is the limit, but I could be wrong on that. And there's a sensor, heat sensor right here, so you don't want to break that. There's one underneath here. The vents go one on one side, one on the other. The batteries alternate, so you want to go negative, positive every time. Easy way to do that is just make sure the vents fit. And as long as you're not the unlucky person who has to replace this cell, you should always have some sort of base to build back off of. Or just remember, here's a good reference video. Negative first from this angle. Okay, I'll take these vents off. They're pretty easy. Clean them up before we put them back on. There we go. And I guess I didn't have to go from this direction, but it's worth cleaning all the way up, so I'll take it all the way off. There you go, there's your vent. Okay, so at this point, I'm gonna take off just the little covers here. Try not to break any of those, but they get pretty brittle and old, so I don't think anybody's gonna blame you. But let's go ahead and recount this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One of these two here. And I'll go ahead and just mark those with a little stick something on top. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take those nuts off. I'll show you when I'm done, because maybe we'll time lapse it. And then I'll test all the cells and see which one's bad. This is number 9, so I'm gonna take these off. It's marked all the way down to this black one perfectly. So, yep, one thing left to do now. There's a few things left, but one thing left to do at the very moment before I can go on. I guess if you're going to do this job, it helps to have an electric ratchet. That was pretty fast. I'll do the same on the other side. I'll just update you when I'm done. Okay, so now that all those are disconnected, they will not give us a bad reading. I'm going to use my multimeter. What you should do to get a perfect reading is to switch your leads on everyone, but if I don't switch them, it's just going to tell me the voltage in negative volts. So I'm just going to leave positive, negative on one side and just go down and see which one's lower. So I'll set that up. Okay, 7.8, you can probably see that. So like I said, one will just switch to negative 7.8. So then when I do this, it will say negative 7.8. No big deal. And it beats having to swap around every time 7.8. So that should be what all of them are at right now, it looks like, 7.8. Okay, so let's just check these two out. 7.84 and 6.94. There we go. That's the one. I'm gonna flip this one around and slap it down here, and then everything else will just go down that way, and this one will take its place. So let's just make sure that it's not dead. It should be at least 7.7 according to the listing. I bought it from used. 7.67. That should charge. So if it doesn't, it'll be on the end anyways. Okay, last step. Well, there's 2 more steps. There's nuts on the bottom of the batteries, but there's also just this cap. So let's take that off. Okay, here's that second cell. I'll swap that with the bad one, and that'll give us enough room to wiggle all these loose, but we're gonna have to take out each bolt on the bottom holding each battery in place. Since they have little tabs that interlock, you're not gonna slide them out from between each other. dash, I'll move forward. Yeah, to this one. Perfect. Pop that out. Put number 2 in its spot. And then we will put new cell back in slot number 2. Alright, so I just got that all clean. I'm going to go ahead and slap this on to go ahead and clamp the batteries down. Then I'll be able to put the bottom bolts in a lot easier. So, okay, that was all it needed. So I am putting these little bolts back in that hold the cells in place on the bottom of this battery case here. All right, that's a job well done. You can see here I've got this string for the trunk latch. That should pull that. Hopefully release it too. But at least it's something to work with there. And let's go ahead and reset the computer. Make sure that all the lights on the dash don't come back on, because battery cell, that hybrid battery will make all the lights on the dash come on. Cool, that's nice and tight. Yeah, that'll work just fine. Better than I thought. Guess I'd better replace this if I want to do anything. All right, that's already a much better sign. If you can see there, the battery indicator is like halfway full. When I parked it, it was all the way empty and it wouldn't charge. So